finally got on in the studio. I don't know, I fumbled around during Facebook today, and I don't know, I couldn't go live. I got down, like there's a couple boxes you have to check off when you're going live on Facebook, and the first two are checked, and then I tried it twice and I couldn't get in. So I decided back to YouTube. Okay, so yes, the title is The Whole Show, right? And why did I title that? Because things are getting really very real on a very strong emotional level. So we have to be patient with ourselves. We're like babies, like coming out of a cocoon, getting our wings on. Can you believe I got bitten already? As soon as summer hits, man, they love my blood. I'm trying to work out a little too, get rid of the flab. So, so I hope you guys are having a good hot summer. Good hot summer, and for some people, it's been so unfortunate. So the planet Neptune, that beautiful blue, kind of like very mystical looking planet, that planet, it affects the water. So I think people have to be really smart about anyone who's near a pond, who's near a lake, who's near a river. Like there's a lot of sudden changes going on with Uranus in play. The lightning, the storms, the floods. So sudden disasters, we have to be aware right now. We have to kind of look up where we're traveling and what the weather is like. I wouldn't take any risks right now. So we're going to do a meditation because my heart is just broken for Texas. Texas, there's so much going on right now, and that's why I titled this. It's gotten very real on an emotional level. Not only are we letting go of emotional things from our past, you see them popping up in your head all the time. I haven't thought about that person in 30 years. Oh, I haven't thought about that experience in 50 years. I mean, we're having all these things come up. It's almost like a life review. I mean, I don't know what else you could call it. To me, it's kind of like a life review. It's like we're going down memory lane and remembering all these experiences we had, right? Wonderful. I mean, wonderful, tragic. I mean, comedy and a tragedy of life. It's both parts, right? So when there's a lot of tragedy, like what's happening in Texas and what's happening with trafficking and what's happening with all these missing kids, we have to really stay in our center because we're going to be pulled down to our emotional core, especially with Neptune and then Cancer. We're in the month of Cancer. It's the seventh month, very, very emotional. And we're now in a shade of Mercury retrograde. So we're going to be going over things. We're going to have people come from our past back into our life, right? So, and it's going to be a lot of sudden experiences because you have Uranus at play. I know I'm mixing up the astrology with the meditation here, the satsang. So yeah, we're going to do a meditation, but I just felt this people are going through so much depth of emotion that we have to rein it in. We have to stay in our center. We don't want to go emotionally out of balance because the more we're emotionally out of balance, the more the whole world is emotionally out of balance. Come on, we're all connected, right? We're all connected. The plants, the animals. So yeah, I got to share a crystal with my grandson today. That was fun. I loved it. They're really into crystals. They're really into my what is that called? My pendulum. I show you my doubly terminated pendulum, right? And, you can use it for healing too. So, this is a good time to get some body work done, I would say, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. Although, as an acupuncturist, I can tell you, since I'm nationally board certified, I can actually tell you, yes, you need to get body work at this time. And that's a yes. Any kind, physical therapy, talk to your doctor, talk to your people that you work with, right? I'm going to try to probably get some Pilates in. I'm thinking that Pilates might be because I like kind of the stretchy band approach. So I'm thinking I might want to strengthen your bodies, drink a lot of water, stay in prayer and meditation as much as you can, right? try to get your body buff, try to eat healthy, help your neighbor out. Just little things like that. Like I don't like to overburden my son. Like he came here with my grandkids today. We went out to eat and came back. And then they watched some kind of Lego movie. And that Lego movie, I kept saying, God, it's so violent. All they're doing in this Lego movie, we're fighting. It was really bizarre. I probably should ask them what they thought about it, right? Because to me, I think they want Legos to play with, but it just seems like it's so like the Lego movie was like programmed to be violent. So I maybe we just see more of those images around us, or we're more aware of them. Like I said, the world's becoming very, very real to us. We're observing, and usually right. We're becoming very telepathic. That means you might be reading other people's minds, or pick up on the same message that they're picking up, or your mind might be warning you about somebody. So I think you need to pay attention to that right now too. What was the other thing I was going to talk about here? Yeah, the emotional baggage. So, why we let go of emotional baggage right now? Emotional baggage, remember, is attached to every aspect of our body. So, whatever trauma you're carrying stays in a certain part. It could be all over your body, especially if somebody's been abused since they were a child, right? So, right now is a good time to like kind of breathe in and breathe out and release it because this is like a new moon going into a full moon. So, we kind of like going to let go of things as we come into our full moon, right? Because when we come up into our full moon, it's kind of like a transformation. I call it like the transformation, like Jesus went through transformation. All the people who loved him fell asleep, and he was going through this amazing transformation. So don't fall asleep. I guess maybe that's a good thing to know. Don't fall asleep during your transformation. So letting go of emotional baggage, right? Like I told you, if you looked at some of my other videos, I told you that story, that dream I had. You can check back at one of my other videos about that. My dream about being with these students in Spain. So yeah, I think I have to work harder at picking up things that are happening in the world. I got to make time and space for that. Like, maybe if I took out a map of the United States, which I do have, I could have done some scrying over it and see if I could have picked up the area that would have been very hard hit with the flooding. So I think we all have to be really aware if you're near a body of water, just be prepared because things are changing very rapidly right now, and it's good to have caution and not to take risks around water right now and have water in your house. Like I think my son on a certain level made fun of me about having water put away, and he says, "Well, they get contaminated after a while." Well, I guess that's true. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should have put a date on all my water bottles. But, I just heard that thank God I have these water bottles because they're going to be shutting off water in my neighborhood to put in new pipes. And now he just found out that he's having his water shut off. So he had to run into Walmart and buy some water because they're shutting off water in his area. So yeah, so things are because I don't know, they're doing some installation there. I think he's getting that system put in under the ground where it sprinkles the water on your yard and you don't have to go out and water. I've always found it very meditative to take the hose out and water. So you guys might want to try that, watering somebody's garden. I think it's a very zen experience. It gets you really into your center. So talking about getting into your center, we're going to do a meditation. I'm at a clear and yeah, so just imagine like, your toes are in, your feet are in the water, nice Caribbean water, and all the impurities are flowing out through the bottom of your feet. You know, we take things in through the bottom of our feet and we let things go through the bottom of our feet. Okay, and as you're doing this healing of letting go with the bottom of your feet, okay, just breathe the rapid rate that you want to breathe, okay? If you breathe slow, breathe slow. If you breathe fast, breathe fast. Whatever feels comfortable. You get into your own breathing rhythm and just allow yourself to clear. Okay, and as you're clearing, and it's really gotten stronger over the last few days. I don't know if you noticed. Like we're in this electromagnetic field, right? Ooh, it's changing here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about first. Thank you. Ashtar's here. Thank you. All right, so we're going to put our hands in a globe-like position, and I just want you to feel into your fingers and just breathe. So before you can really love and truly care for anyone else, you have to care for yourself. So that means you have to feel the energy between your fingers. You have to connect to your center. Now, you don't have to do this. I mean, it's up to you. This is a form of meditation. So you also might feel, okay, these are some other things you're going to feel as you're working on healing your own orbit, right? We live in this orbit of energy. We live in an aura of light and frequency of sound. So you might hear a higher frequency in your left ear than in your right ear. And it's not the kind of sound like if you're sick, like a hard buzzing sound. This is more of a pure sound. It might sound like crickets or grasshoppers or cicadas. It might sound like a flute. And your fingers might be getting warmer at this point. And you might feel like a little electrical prickle charge. That's just because you're connecting with yourself. It's always good to plug in, right? We're not just plugging in our phones all day. We need to plug into our own field. So you need to plug into your own field of energy. And then you can kind of work with that energy like it's like a little light bulb of energy. And you can just place it on your body and just allow your body to absorb it. So just reconnect with yourself. So you might feel yourself vibrating, shaking a little bit. Just allow the chi to flow through you. You might find yourself moving in a spiral. Allow the chi to flow through you. Or you might be doing the S or the snake, the kundalini. And they're all great. I mean, people are different levels here. I don't like to use the word evolution because I don't feel this is an evolution. I think this is more like a transformation. So time to get your charge on, babies, right? Get your charge on. Okay, let's tap our third eye. In my opinion, we need to get the fluoride out of our toothpaste. So, I mean, you could talk to your doctor about that, but the fluoride is killing our pituitary and pineal gland. I mean, you read your own research. Go into your own little scientific world and read your own research, okay? I mean, I don't want anything put in my food that's leftover waste. You know, corn syrup? Women used to be so slender and beautiful, back in the days, right? And then they started putting corn syrup in all our food. I don't know why that just popped out. I guess that was something I needed to tell you guys. All right, well, that just popped out. Let me get back to the sound. So while you're in a state of meditation, you're going to hear different sounds, and the sounds will change. I used to think, okay, the sounds are moving vertically, like you'd hear these sounds, you'd be at a certain level of not evolution, but of transformation. I guess the sounds would be an evolution of transformation. So whatever you want to call it. So the sounds, to me, they get more rarefied, in my opinion, and what I experienced. Okay, you can talk to other people who meditate. Um, they get more rarefied that you can't really describe them. Like I could say, oh, it sounds like a rushing waterfall. But within that rushing waterfall, you hear chimes. So there's like the sounds of meditation. So let's find our sound right now. Maybe that's what I should be a little more direct. Let's find our sound. So this is what we're going to work on next. So maybe you should go to the bathroom or get some water. Oh, and let's do a stretch. And then we're going to do a meditation. And you're going to try to find your sound. All right, so here we go. Oh, my chiropractor worked on me today. And I just got a few releases in my back right now. It's good to have our bones worked on at this time. It's great for meditation. You have to be aligned as much as possible. I was going to see if I could go for a third release. That was pretty good. So yeah, when you want to do those stretches, you want to find that you do get a release with that. It opens up your core. In fact, that's supposed to strengthen this part of the body. And I just found that the quadriceps by chiropractor, because I said sometimes they get really sore. And he says, do you have digestive problems? And I go, yeah. I go, he asked me a couple questions if you belch or fart, those kind of questions that shows that you have stagnation or just you can't absorb food, right? So I said, yeah. And then he goes, and it was like telepathy in action. I go, yeah, I know. Do you have any? Yeah, I know. Do you have any digestive enzymes? He goes, are you psychic or what? I go, yeah, I told you I'm psychic. That's telepathy. So he told me he was just going to tell me how the small intestine is connected to your thighs, the muscle in your thighs, which you put your hands on your lap. So if you have any tension in there, and if you have problems with digestion, he's a doctor of chiropractic, and he would say that that's an imbalance, that you need to correct. And I think a lot of people are having, I don't know if you guys are having digestive problems right now. So it seems to be pretty prevalent. It seems people have to be very strict with what they're eating or limit like certain kinds of foods at certain times of the day. So I think there's a lot changing in our whole environmental world, physically, emotionally, mentally, like mentally right now with all the Mercury at play and the Uranus at play. A lot of things are going to come back from our past pretty suddenly, and events are going to happen very suddenly. So I think that water, we really have to watch the water. I think that's a big message. If people don't get that message from what's happening in Texas, then it's still not over. So please go into your heart and pray and meditate for those people in Texas. Well, people everywhere, even Iran, there's good people everywhere. The bad people are the ones that need to go down. I mean, I think everybody should watch Yellow Submarine. That's an amazing video with the Beatles. We all live in a yellow submarine. All right, so let's try to find our sound, okay? So when I say try to find our sound, we're going to do a meditation together and make sure your feet are on the floor. I have a tendency to cross my left ankle over my right, and for me that feels perfectly keeping me like upright and in balance. I know some people feel put your feet flat on the floor, but I really think it depends like where you come into your center physically, where you come into your shen, I think will be really good. So let's do that right now. And we're going to focus on, you may hear something in your right ear, but right now I would like you guys to focus more on your left ear, if you can do that, okay? So if you feel strongly pulled between the both, then, put something in the chat, right? All right, so let's concentrate on our left ear, and we are going to be going into meditation. We did our clearing, and we're going to start from the sacral area and up. So I hope that gives you some energy to focus on, like the sound that you have, okay? So kind of lock that in your heart. Remember, the sound will change as you grow in meditation. Um, I don't know where it will grow to. I can't tell you that, right? All I know also with the sound, which I should instruct you on too, is some people might be seeing light in the third eye. So, I mean, if you see light in the third eye, it's wonderful. So, listen, we're going to go. Let me see. I think I want to do one more clearing. And then my grandson had to have one of my crystals. And of course, in my mind, I'm going, do I want to part with one of my beautiful crystals? Oh my God, can I part with one of my beautiful? Do you think my arms are getting firmer? I'm trying to do exercises like the roundabouts, and I'm trying to put a cream on my arm, trying to get my body in shape here. So let's just clear one more time. Yeah, see if you can get down to some beaches where there's, well, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to encourage people to go to any beaches right now. As much as my heart breaks and I want to go to St. John so desperately, I don't know. The world is cracking and spitting us out and swallowing us up. The earth is very angry right now. Like in my last video, we need to do a meditation to the four directions. You know what? Let's do that right now. If you guys need to leave, you need to leave. Work on your sound. And if not, we're moving on. Okay, so we're going to do a quick meditation to the four directions. Okay, I'm so blessed. I live in the middle of four gardens. Southern garden that's just totally full of flowers. Northern garden is full of trees, amazing trees. Although I'm going to have some of them cut down, it's getting out of control. And then in East and West garden, I haven't even checked my West garden lately. It's just like I feel like I'm just entering out. It's been so hot outside. Okay, so let's start with that. Let's focus. All right, so we're going to focus with the direction of heat. So we're going to focus on calming down fires, calming down volcanoes, anything to do with fires. calming down mentally ill people that would have start fires and bomb explosions. We have to work on all those levels, right? So let's just send some love to them and some healing to them and calming it down. I mean, if you really believe that this is your mother, then let's talk to the earth, right? Let's calm down the waters. The waters are so out of control. The dams breaking in China, floods in Texas, tsunamis, everything, right? Mountains sliding down hills, hillsides. So we have to calm down the water, warn people ahead of time, right? So I think that's what they tried to do in Japan. So that was wise. They was listening to the psychic about the water in Japan. I don't think it's over. I think they give it a little longer time because this is Mercury retrograde. And the wind. Too many tornadoes. Too many hurricanes. We need to calm down the wind. So time right now is very elusive. I mean, I could be sitting here for 15 minutes and it might feel like an hour. Um, I could think that 10 minutes passed and all of a sudden an hour passed. So there's these time elapses that are occurring right now too. So just be aware that we're under a lot of changing in our DNA structure. So if you need to lie on the couch and be a couch potato, or like you feel like you're in a cocoon, I like the cocoon, you're changing. You're like metamorphosizing. We're metamorphosizing. We're changing. And it's okay. It's okay to not like certain things you like to like before. And it's, like I don't know, during the winter I was into like chocolate cake for some reason. I have no idea why. It was just like I was enchanted with it or like possessed by it or something. I wonder if that was when I was doing fairy tales with the kids, because all you talk about is like the cookie houses and anyway, fairy tales, right? So yeah, so you're changing what you like to eat too. So I think a lot of people have noticed that. Changing what you like to eat. And it's okay, okay. Probably I shouldn't say this, but I will. And I think those people who have been doing a lot of meditation will understand what I'm saying. Um, Sometimes you don't feel like you need to eat at all. Right? I know this is crazy. The shirt with this octopus on it, right? So yeah, so I'm trying to strengthen my upper body, and I think so. Anyway, I had that telepathic connection with my chiropractor today. He's amazing. He's like the old-time chiropractor. He does the muscle testing. He does the manipulation, whatever he does, and then he does the acupuncture. And he's good. He's very good. And I'm trying to get myself back in balance because since the end of last July, I was mostly dealing with like chronic pain. Like I couldn't get rid of it. And then Monday, I had a piece of glass put in my foot, stuck in my foot. I'm thinking, shit. Well, my son made that prediction. He says, don't walk around barefooted in the basement. Well, see, my basement was always pretty clean, right? And then I took out these rugs and the things and I shook them out on the floor, but I didn't vacuum it. I think I need a maid service. They've been putting these flyers in my door because I just can't get to do everything, you know? So I might have them come over and clean my bathrooms for me. I mean, it'd be nice, and I'd pay somebody to do it and help them out. All right, so let's get back. So let's get real. So there's a lot of emotions being churned up right now, churned up from the deepest wells of our being. So we have to be gentle with ourselves. We can't just like be mad at ourselves all the time. You just have to take the right action, right? Take the right action, like this octopus on my shirt. Got that in St. John. I can't wait to go back there. That's what I have to work on is going on a juice fast, losing 25 pounds, right, with the juice fast, because I do really well on a juice fast. Actually, I should make them myself, right? And then I'll know they're fresh and they're as organic as possible. Now that I have all the time on my hand, I really should make a juice fast. So try to find something good to do for your body, right? I guess that's what this whole satsang was about. You know, like get yourself a weight. I think I freaked out my chiropractor when I said I was doing 5 pounds. But I think 5 pounds are pretty good for me. I mean, like even with this, it doesn't feel that heavy. So try to do some free weights. And since if you have like an injury in the lower part of your body, it's always good to strengthen the upper part, right? So just remember that. I think 5 pounds is fine. I freaked him out. He doesn't lift any weights at all. Kind of chubby, even though he's a great chiropractor. I mean, I'm pretty chubby too. What should I say? Okay. All right. So let me do one final clearing. So meditate on the sound. We're still clearing through the feet. Oh, this is good now. Okay. Finally. Okay. So this is my new job. This is my new office. Ugh. So yeah, you're gonna feel pulled from your heart lately. So like be your compassionate self. Be kind, right? I mean, speak the truth, but be kind about it. We don't have to be so angry when we speak the truth. Listen to that Bob Dylan song. Um, we've got to serve someone. We have to serve someone. It could be the devil, it could be the Lord. All right, my dears. So have a wonderful weekend. Happy 4th of July. Even though I really don't like fireworks anymore. It's just too dry. The atmosphere has been too dry. I wouldn't want to spark a fire. So I think this is it for now. And now I have to figure out, it's interesting because between YouTube and Facebook, both of you guys are so different. It's too bad it's not more synchronized. I think that's pop out dashboard. Hmm. So I'm trying to figure out how to exit this. It's like, it's like the orbits, right? In space. They just found all these holes underneath Lake Michigan, like on the Michigan side. Did you see that? They're all shaped like they look like a cupcake holder. Like the holes are perfectly cylindrical and they're punched underneath the water. It's pretty weird. You should check that out. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. Expand menu. Okay, so now what? Channel level. I don't know. I had a hard time with Facebook today. I don't know. They changed something. What's the top chat? There's no top chat. All right. Okay, so now do I go out of my studio?